What's up, internet? This is welcome to the glitch in the matrix. This is the Movie Jerk. I'm your host, Steven Garikov. This is Darth Tropicanus, and this week we are reviewing The Suicide Squad, not to be confused with Suicide Squad. I know it's difficult. They're only a couple years apart, a few years, however you define your definition of years. So The Suicide Squad, I don't know, to set the background of knowledge, I've recently rewatched Suicide Squad. I read a bunch of Harley comics in the past. Sorry, I'm pretty faded. Let's see, to set the scene, people were in my seat again, assigned. You know how movie theaters work nowadays. Didn't really matter because with the time of day I went, nobody was there. It was in a different seat, didn't matter. I know. Well, we thought they had kids. We thought they were going to be a bigger problem than they were. The kids were actually pretty fine. Thank you for reminding me. Alright. We're going to jump into the review of The Suicide Squad. To start with, the violence, it doesn't hold back. It's awesome. Literally, this isn't a spoiler. It's like the opening scene and or, within the opening situation, a dude gets his face blown off. It's just graphic. Very good. I guess I knew it was rated R, but I wasn't sure how intense it would be. It lived up to, it exceeded expectations. I guess that's what I'm looking for. Something I think is funny, just because it's like, I think the first time I've ever had to mention it was literally last week with The Green Knight. This week I'm repeating it. Title cards. This movie heavily uses like the title cards, of giving the next scene coming up a title. I really liked the way they did this in this movie, the way they did it, like working it into the scene, if you will, you know what I mean? I guess one of the very first title cards, so it's not much of a spoiler or anything, is it like uses a toilet, and so it's like the suds on a toilet. Just, yeah. It bleeds into my next point, which is cinematography. There are so many shots in this movie that it seems literally like it would be a panel in a comic book, which I don't think comic book movies, there was a stretch where they were good, but they wouldn't do shots in such a way. This movie definitely gives you shots where you're just kind of staring at the screen and just loving it. Which also, I know this is on HBO Max, and I know everybody has HD TVs. I have a friggin' 55-inch 4K TV, folks. That's basically what people have nowadays. It still would be a shame to not see this movie in theaters just because of the cinematography alone. And some of the just visual effects that aren't obviously at that point cinematography. It's also CGI or whatever, it's computerized images, but it's still beautiful and something you want to see on a giant screen. Alright, let's see. Basically, right now, I'm going to try and go down the list of how the characters made me feel, because there's so many. Let's see if I hit them all. If not, I apologize ahead of time. The first one I'm going to say is, one of the main females is Ratcatcher 2, like the Ratcatcher 2. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. I think when they do flashbacks to her past, her father, the Ratcatcher, is Taika Waititi, which I just thought was hilarious. I guess, I don't know. Anytime I see him at this point, I just think it's a funny cameo that people just want to see. I don't know. He's literally in everything now, I feel like. It's funny. But she was also a badass. I loved it. Oh, right, I point out the animals all the time. There's an adorable rat in this one who's got like a little vest, like that's her main rat. He's got a little like red vest on. It's adorable. I love it. King Shark. So I've watched the cartoon Harley Quinn show on HBO Max, and if you've seen it, you know King Shark is in it. Definitely a different take on the whole King Shark way about it. It's not like he's very talkative. It's not a cartoon, of course, so I kind of get it. Loved it. I probably felt the most for King Shark out of all the different characters. I felt the most for him. Like, there's just moments where you're like, this is fucking sad. And it is. And you're feeling for a computer-generated character. So but they did an amazing job with King Shark. So now I have to basically go off memory. I didn't write everybody's name down. We're going to start with Harley Quinn. I love everything that Margot Robbie has been doing with Harley Quinn since the beginning, since they've like hired her on as her. She's been doing an amazing job. No criticism. Charles Miner, aka Idris Elba. Him as Bloodsport, the costume design for him is awesome. He does an amazing job. We all know he's an amazing actor. So of course. I don't know the actor's name for the polka dot dude, but oh my god. Like, I knew he was going to be a funny character, but the seriousness, but then also again with the cinematography. Like, they let you in and like you're supposed to like see what he's seeing to show how crazy he is. It's amazing. It's also just hilarious. Who am I missing? I know I'm missing somebody. John Cena? John Cena's the main person. I knew he'd be funny. I've never been against John Cena. I always hated his WWE character, but I never hated John Cena because he's hilarious and amazing. He is so funny in this. Like, John Cena does not disappoint. His acting's great, and he is hilarious in this. I think I hit at least the main people. There's a death in it, and I'm not going to point out. Obviously, there are deaths in the movie, but I'm not going to point out this specific one. It upsets me that it happened, which is why I'm not pointing it out. I thought that this is going to lead me into my last point. I thought they'd fix this death with the Easter egg, which there is an Easter egg. And the Easter egg is literally they're in like a hospital talking about rescuing somebody from the situation. And so I'm like, oh, here we go. They're going to do exactly what I was hoping. They rescued a different character, which is also why I'm not pointing out the death situation. But either way, I'm upset by this one death. I thought they were going to fix it with the Easter egg, so it is an Easter egg. They didn't fix it. They rescued a different character. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. Shooketh, as the kids say. Thank you for reminding me of the rat. Yes, well, I pointed out the rat, but very cute moment. Basically, this isn't really, I feel like, an Easter egg. Idris Elba, the Bloodsport guy, I guess he has like a phobia of rats, and obviously now he's working with a woman who controls a bunch of rats. There's a part where like this shouldn't be a spoiler either of like, oh, they're gonna do the right thing, something good, blah blah blah. The little rat like on the chick's shoulder just gives like a jumping hooray. It's hilariously adorable. Obviously it would be a CGI thing, but I'm gonna point it out anyway. Before this camera clicks on me and I have to start all over, which I hate to do, I'm straight up rating this, y'all, a 10 out of 10 Drix. I don't care. I enjoyed it. I expected an 8 or 9. I had a good feeling about it. It exceeded my expectations, which is why when I expected an 8 or 9, if it exceeded it, I enjoyed it more than I even expected to. I'm giving it the friggin' 10. I don't know what people have to pick on and hate on superhero movies at this point, but chillax, be happy we're getting them. Be happy with the special effects that we're able to be given nowadays. The comedy was there, the action was there. It was beautifully put together. Remember to like, subscribe, dislike, argue with me in the comments, call me out, say something, I don't know, do anything internet. This is The Suicide Squad. It was 10 out of 10, y'all. Have a good week.